Thank you for the answer. Yeah, definitely you've highlighted the importance of circular economy and scrappage policy by the government. It's definitely the need of the hour. Um, Now I'd like to shift our focus to another aspect of the supply chain, that is logistics. So my next question is to Mr. Abhishek ji. India's steel industry logistic cost, including inbound and outbound logistics, is 16 to 18% of total revenues, significantly higher than best-in-class global benchmarks that are at 10 to 12%. With the government's push towards Gati Shakti scheme, how can railways contribute to reducing logistic costs for the steel industry?
Good afternoon. This is an excellent question. And currently, looking at the context, the way dedicated freight corridors have come in India, there's immense thrust on about how the cargo can be shifted to rail. Uh, First, we need to basically look at the landscape in which we are operating. So, take for example a place like Jalna, which is producing approximately 10 million tons of finished goods. The challenge is neither the finished goods nor the raw material is going beyond 8% on railway usage. So if such clusters are connected on the national grid from a railway perspective, it's definitely going to bring the cost down, number one. Second, the dedicated freight corridor offers you higher tonnage on the same rail. So it's like 200 trucks traveling on one single train, which optimizes your cost. So the key principle in any supply chain is optimization, which is both side laden cargo, which essentially reduces the cost. The modal which is carrying that should be efficient, which also contributes to the carbon reduction, which is true in the case of rail. And thirdly, the design of the supply chain. You procure raw material from east, you finish your goods and supply to the west. So you need to have a comprehensive logistics plan in terms of how the railways are going to connect to you. And basis that design, you have to focus on how you want to optimize that. So the policy which is of GCT is going to help us bring 100 new GCT terminals across the country into the network of railways. This will also increase the number of containerization of the cargo. The more you containerize the cargo, the high chances of getting an optimized result in the supply chain will come into picture, because of which the cost caution, which is about 16 to 18% today, would definitely come down by 5 to 6 basis points.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek ji, for highlighting the tremendous cost benefit as in railways as compared to the traditional road transport that we are currently using. Could you also explain the new trends and developments that are coming in railway logistics that could have a significant impact on steel industry's supply chain, input material supply chain?
So if you compare multiple scenarios which are emerging worldwide, of course, slurry is one of the bigger examples which most of the countries where mines are connected directly to the plants have been adopted. Places like Africa, places like Europe, AMNS has been the pioneer in this across multiple countries where they operate. The second bigger shift which we have seen is that there have been multi-purpose vessels which are coming. India has a large riverine network, especially from an eastern coast perspective. Also, you have the eastern coastal part of world where you can have multi-purpose vessels carrying all types of cargo. Cement industry has been a big exploitant of this kind of models in the past. Something like raw materials of steel and finished goods can also be explored in that complete modal shift on the coastal part or the riverine part of the industry. When we talk about the trains, there are multiple modes. India has been heavily dependent on the railway network for coal, fertilizer, and cement movement. About 80% of Indian Railways cargo is this commodities. The balance comes to all other commodities which are moving. So there has to be a gradual shift in the cargo profile what the Indian Railways is doing. For that, you will also need different kind of wagon designs. So there are wagons which are roll on and roll off, which would be a very complementary kind of a wagon for steel movement. It will also give you the chassis class discount which is required by the steel operators. That the way government has brought it in for cement, something similar can be worked out on a partial or a mini rake on the steel front also. Additionally, there are new kind of containers which are coming which can enable faster loading. You don't have to invest on heavy equipments for ensuring the cargo loadability on those containers, which are open top, which are essentially flat tracks, which will move your long products, coil products in a more systemized fashion. There have been innovations which are happening and submissions at RDSO around the shape and size of the containers which can carry sponge iron and iron lumps in form of bulker tankers or tank containers. So those will be the new disruptions through which a lot of modal shift will happen towards rail, and this new innovation will drastically bring down the handling cost and also the movement cost.
Thank you.